Welcome back, everybody. My name's APrater54, aka Adam, coaching the Chesney Park Slowpokes. Today I bring you the draft analysis, aka recap, for PDD Season 3, I believe it is. It's for Season 3. We have to draft 10 to 11 Pokemon, 110 point budget, and our Terra limit is, I believe it's 10 and below. One second. We have a 25 point budget for Terra, 12 points and lower. The way Terra works is 3 points for Water, Fairy, Steel, Normal, 2 points for Dark, Fighting, Fire, Ghost, Electric, Flying, Ground, Dragon, Ice, Grass, and Poison, and 1 point for Bug, Rock, Psychic, and Stellar. So you get 3 types. If you choose a stab, it's free, and then the additional points are costed onto your Mon plus its tier value. So that makes it incredibly interesting. So I was, I believe, pick number 7 out of 16 coaches. So it was definitely interesting. It got to me, and I was actually surprised that this was still here, and I decided, let's do something fun. We ended up taking Iron Bundle for 17 points. This thing is a monster. You have this in Electric Terrain or with Booster Energy. You can boost its special attack, you can boost its speed, you can run Boots and outspeed a lot of things at base 135 speed. All in all, incredibly good Mon, and I look forward to seeing what I can do with this. And this is my first time using a slide like this, so I'm just gonna put little guys in the corner. So you're gonna see the roster develop on the left, and you're going to see the actual Mon on the right. When I get to my Terra captains, they are going to be on the 2 little triangles, and I will display their Terras as well. And we are going to hop on into the next Mon after I talk a little bit more about Bundle. All in all, phenomenal Mon. That's Freeze Dry and Hydro Pump is so hard to switch into in the game. You have to have a good Steel type. You have to have a good, even the Storm Drain Mons or Water Absorb Mons are times 4 weak to Freeze Dry. It just forces additional prep. It forces AVs, and it can also flip turn out on a Mon that would check it. As long as it's not Water Absorb, you pivot up. This can run Whirlpool, this can run Taunt, this can run Encore to Cripple Teams. I've been seeing that used in BBR, where they Whirlpool, they Encore them into like Stealth Rocks. Now they're taking Binding Band damage as they wear down the Pokemon. That is incredibly good. Granted, this thing's Spadef isn't the greatest. Hey, we can work around that. But next, we are going to hop on into the next Mon. I'm going to erase that here. And we took Iron Treads. It came back to us. I was honestly surprised it was here. One of the best spinners in the game. Access to Rocks, Rapid Spin, access to Knockoff Ice Spinner, now Supercell Slam, Bolt Switch, gets access to Mega Horn, Heavy Slam, Earthquake, Earth Power, Steel Beam. It does almost everything you need it to. It sponges hits. This gets access to Iron Defense and Body Press as well, so you can run a weakness policy Body Press set with Iron Defense and hammer things away, and whatever resists fighting, you can hammer with Earthquake. All in all, incredibly good Mon. Incredibly bulky defensive-wise, and I look forward to seeing what I can do with Treads this time around. I haven't really been good with it in the past, so we'll see what happens. Honestly, we have to see what happens. So, pick number 3. We're going to keep mini Treads on the board. I am honestly surprised that this made it all the way 3 rounds but also back to me as well. They let me get Iron Moth. Okay, so now you see a pattern forming here. This could potentially be a terrain team, or this could be a Booster Energy Express team that nobody wants to deal with. We're going to slap the little mini guy in the corner, and we are going to roll with it. This gets Booster Energy Special Attack, Speed, gets access to Def, can even Booster Energy its attack and run an Acrobatics set, but you have to do one weird funky meme set if you needed to run a physical set that week. This gets access to Discharge, which is incredibly good, U-Turn, Toxic Spikes, gets access to Energy Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Fiery Dance, which is a 50% chance to increase its special attack by 1, which is absolutely amazing on this thing. Granted, it's ×4 weak to ground. Treads is weak to ground, so I actually have to build around that and be careful with my weaknesses as the team develops. But the end team, you're gonna see, yeah. Minor spoiler, I don't give a shit about my ground weakness. I'm just gonna roll with it. You gotta kill me first. I'm just gonna hit you. But Iron Moth is here to do whatever it needs to do with set T-spikes, break teams, let the rest of the team come in and clean up the scraps. I'll take it. It doesn't have to be the end-all be-all sweeper, but it can hammer the crap out of things. We're going to hide Moth, and we are going to hop on into Mon number 4. Alright, so it came back to me, and I decided, I need a fairy, I need a dark type. So I originally drafted Grimmsnarl, but I dropped it in Grace for Iron Jugulis. Okay, so now you're seeing the terrain team develop. This is Terrain Express at this point. There's no item clause in this league, so all 4 of these Mon can run Booster Energy. This can get Speed Booster, this can get Special Attack Booster. All in all, incredibly terrifying Mon. I hate ads.
Sound like you? Not me. The interrelation.
Alright, we're back. Hopefully that wasn't audible on there. I'm getting real tired of seeing Kamala Harris ads, to be honest. I don't really care much about the presidential elections. But back to Jugulis. This is inspiration by Nue and Cookie Gamer. I just want to see what the hype is around this Mon. I would need to know for myself if it's better or worse Hydreigon. Granted, this doesn't get all the offensive moves that Hydreigon does, nor access to Stealth Rocks, but it has 122 base special attack and 108 speed. That's not bad at all, especially since you boost your speed and you have access to Nasty Plot. I'll take it. And this thing can just blow through things. This gets access to Flash Cannon for fairies, this gets access to Earth Power for steel types, as well as Flamethrower. This even gets access to Hydro Pump for the Water Weak Mons, which is incredibly good. This even gets access to Charge Beam as a way to boost its attack. Sadly, it's not boosted by Electric Terrain because I am airborne. But I do get the 70% chance to raise my special attack. I'll take it. This even gets access to U-Turn, so I can pivot out. I have momentum. I have Volt Switch on... Whoa, I just realized this. I have Volt Switch on Treads. I have Flip Turn on Bundle. I have U-Turn on Moth, and I have U-Turn on this. So I have a lot of momentum to get myself in pivoting situations. So all in all, I'll take it. Next. Oh, silly me. Bundle was 17, Treads was 15, Moth was 15, Jugulis was 12. I forgot to say the points. I really do not want to have to redo and say everything, so we are just going to move on. Round number 5 for 6 points, which isn't bad. I got Pincurchin. Okay, so now you realize what's happening. This is electric terrain abuse. This is Booster Energy Express. This thing gets access to spikes, T-spikes, a plentiful amount of water moves for the ground types that want to kill it. This thing can run anti-trick room. This thing can just be annoying and click recover. This is bulky enough to run a Rocky Helmet to punish like triple Axelmons. All in all, being able to have 8 turns of electric terrain with the 3 above is absolutely amazing. And I look forward to seeing what Little Pincursion can do. It can either get kills or it can support the team. Just the fact that it can throw T-spikes down is absolutely amazing. Spikes as well. This even gets access to Memento. What I do is I kill myself, maximize 7 turns of terrain, and I just set up with one of the booster mons and just absolutely plaster my opponent, which is incredibly scary. All in all, pretty good mon, and I love using these nuts. Got him. Next, we get into our first Terra Captain. I was back and forth debating. It was either going to be this or one of my other mons. I could have had a stacked mon for pick number 8, but I decided, nah. Let's do Goodra. Goodra is Terra Dragon. Want to be able to do stab Dracos and blow things back, as well as just keep my natural typing and be resistant to a lot of things. We are Terra Poison to resist Fairy type moves. Be neutral to Ice, be neutral to Dragon. Incredibly good. And this gives us stab Sludge Waves. This also makes us immune to Toxic. Steel type moves don't hit us very well. We resist Fighting, which is pretty damn good. And last but not least, we have Ground. I get Earthquake, but I do not get a special Ground type move. This allows me to hit Steel types, Fire types, everything else in the book. So I will take it. Goodra was just 10 points, which is an absolute steal. And sorry, Goodra was 9 points. Dragon was free, and then I had to pay additional costs for Poison and Ground. I believe it was 2 points each, so this became a 13-point mon, which is incredibly fun to use. All in all, Goodra, he's bulky, he's offensive. You can run tank, you can run acid armor, body press set. You can find a way to increase your speed with a Salic Berry Resto Chesto set or Rest Sleep Talk Salic Berry Body Press. There's so many things that this can do. This gets access to Scald, Knockoff, gets access to Toxic now. This thing can be incredibly annoying. So now I have my third knockoff user, which is incredibly good. Granted, AV teams are going to want to come into me. Well, Goodra walls the things that normally would want to hit me special-wise and takes the AV away, as well as can be a physical breaker. This thing gained Curse with the DLC. So this thing can lower its speed, get attack and defense, run a White Herb, now it's immune to Poltergeist, and just be offensive and physical. That's incredibly valuable. Being a tanky mon that usually has low defense and just being able to chew things is really, really good. But enough about Goodra. We are going to hide this, and we are going to hop on into our next mon. We want the mini Goodra to stay there, though. Next, we get into what I was encouraged to draft the most and make a Terra Captain. They hyped us up. They encouraged me. We got Terra Captain Pawmot. And we got the mini Pawmot there for the Terra. This thing has access to Natural Cure, Iron Fist, and Volt Absorb. I can make myself immune my own electric terrain. I can have double shock boosted. Basically, yeah. Terra Electric is what I went with. So this is Terra Electric Double Shock. This is terrain boosted and Terra boosted. Good lord. Even if you resist, it's now just chunking the crap out of you. And the way Double Shock works is it removes your electric typing, but with Terra Electric you get to keep it, which is incredibly interesting. I can just spam Double Shock in terrain. Iron Fist, Voos, Mach Punch, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch. I believe I get Drain Punch as well. I'd have to double check. If I don't, then I have CC. It's fine. This also gets Knockoff, Play Rough, and Seed Bomb. This can hit the times for mons like Gastrodon, Quagsire, and blow them back with Seed Bomb, which is incredibly valuable because normally they would wall the electric type move and be neutral to the fighting type move and would kill me in return. And next, we got Terra Bug. I want to be able to take away my fairy weakness. I also am resistant to ground, allowing me to bulk up and then do excessive damage output. There's going to be weeks where I can't spam electric, so Bug's going to be there just to be able to bulk up, hit things. This allows me to Wish Pass as well to the rest of my team more freely because I'm not as frail against ground type moves. Electric was free, Bug was 1 point. And then we wanted to see what Punch Glove boosted Stellar Terra Iron Fist damage would look like. So yeah, with Terra Stellar, each one of my different type moves is going to get a Life Orb boost first time only. And my Stellar Terra is now super effective against other Terras, but at the cost of my stats, which is fine because I can just smack things and Volt Switch out. So I can be a little mini breaker. Palma with 105 speed, incredibly fast, kind of decent, and hits pretty hard, harder than you think it does. But this can also be very supportive to the team, like I mentioned with the Wish Passing. All in all, I look forward to using it. And then we will get into round number 8 after this. Let me hide all of this real quick because I want to do this in one go. All right. For round number 8. This is the other mon I was torn on making a captain besides Palmont because I had the points to stack its Terras. I could have literally put 3-point Terras on this mon and still been able to do Goodra, I believe, because Goodra was only 13, Sceptile was 6 points. I'm getting tired of the ads. 1 second. Let me get this open. Alright. Sceptile's 6 points, so I could have put like 2 3-point Terras on this and a ground type. And it's grass typing. Heavily abused my electric terrain and been able to overcome a lot of matchups. Sceptile, granted, its special offense kind of lacks a little bit, but it gets access to Leaf Storm, Grass Knot, Focus Blast, gets access to, I believe, Hyper Voice. That's not the best, but its physical offense, access to Sword Stance, gets access to Outrage, Crunch, Dragon Claw, Scale Shot now, Dragon Dance, gets access to Leaf Blade, gets access to Crunch, the only thing it's missing is it doesn't get a steel move to break fairies, so it has to rely on its grass moves to go through it. And it's definitely going to be an interesting challenge. So, that is Sceptile. We're going to see if we can Swords Dance with the Electric Seed, boosting our defense, and being able to sweep with Acrobatics on late game with teams after we broke them down. All in all, pretty good mon. Okay, so next we gotta put the mini Sceptile over here. We're gonna hide you. This mon was originally what was my ghost? I can't remember what I dropped. 1 second. What did I drop? Oh yeah, I originally drafted Hoopa and Squawkabilly, and then I ended up dropping them for Mimikyu. This is the fairy that people say is your last resort, and this is the fairy you grab if you absolutely need a fairy. But fuck those allegations. Uh, this thing does more than it needs to. This can trick, give an item to cripple my opponent. Especially with Lagging Tail, they gotta break my disguise first. Now the opponent's fastest mon has a Lagging Tail. This gets access to Trick Room. This gets access to Will-O-Wisp, Thunderwave. Gets access to Screens, Sword Stance, Shadow Sneak, Trailblaze, Woodhammer, Drain Punch, Play Rough. This thing can do so much. This even gets access to Burning Jealousy if I need to hit a Scizor 1 week. Yeah, that's incredibly valuable. Granted, it lost workup. It had that last gen, so it can't raise its special attack unless it uses a sound-based move. But one of these days I'm going to run a weakness policy special Mimikyu, and people are going to cry. Because why not? Absolutely, why not? And for the final pick of the draft, because I really wanted it and I didn't know what else to take, shout out to Razor Claw for absolutely always blowing me back with this fucking Pokemon. Big Bronzong. This gets access to Ice Spinner, Stealth Rocks, both Levitate and Heat Proof. Okay, so I can resist fire type moves, set Trick Room, have a weakness policy go off. And just hammer back with EQ, Rock Slide, Heavy Slam, Gyro Ball, and be incredibly slow and smack you in the face really, really hard. This even gets access to Grass Knot, Shadow Ball, Psychic Noise, Stored Power, and Body Press. I can run an Iron Defense set. Smack you in the face. This thing does so much. This even gives screens, as well as the rock support, which is incredibly valuable. And I look forward to seeing what this can do. Bronzong was 9 points. Mimikyu was 10. Overall, I had 1 point left after doing all of this, and I just really didn't want to get a 11th Pokemon. So we're going to end the draft here with Big Daddy Bronzong. Hopefully you guys like the team. Tell me what you think down below in the comments. And look forward to me facing off against Padel. Week number 1. That is going to be an interesting battle. Like and subscribe if you haven't. And enjoy. And you guys have a good night. Later.